Of course I'm being serious. I would never offer something I never intended to give. If you take the job, you'll be added to my staff as a maid. Anna would show you the ropes initially, and once you were properly trained, you would be given your own assignment by Christina. She's a housekeeper here. There is a catch, however. Clearly, some people working for me have decided it is in their best interest to ruin the carefully crafted plans I've made. Usually I would play the longer game and let the passage of time weasel them out, or rely on a friend. But I have neither luxury at the moment. I have no proof, but I would bet my fortune that more shipments of food were diverted from their routes and hidden away. Someone wants to get the people angry with me, turn them against me. It's prime time to do it too. Very smart. While you're working here as a maid, I want you to keep your ears open. I'd like to think that no one working for me would betray me, but that's wishful thinking. It's always better to be safe. If you end up overhearing anything of note, I want you to tell me, even if it seems strange or unrelated. I want you to seek me out. I need all the information I can get. Well, yes. In theory, I could just call in a trusted servant I have already, but there's a few issues with that. Firstly, I can't be certain that they aren't the one leaking the information in the first place. Secondly, they wouldn't be given the same grace that a newcomer would be. You can ask plenty of questions without looking suspicious. The staff would likely just think you're an inquisitive and talkative person. It wouldn't be the same if I got someone like Anna to do this for me. Anna's been working here for about 3 years now. She knows everyone, and everyone knows her. I'm not involved in the conversations amongst my servants, but I can imagine all of their topics of discussion have already been extinguished. You should know, though, that if you take this job, I can't promise that you'll be entirely safe. Now, I highly doubt someone would target you for simply being an informant, not to mention you should be safe within these walls, but there is still a chance that something bad could happen. I wouldn't want you to jump into this thinking I tricked you in some way. I seem familiar with this. You could say that. Well, I haven't been involved in a situation exactly like this one. I have had occasional issues spring up once in a while. Though this is likely my most serious issue, especially concerning recent events. You look overwhelmed. If you need more time to consider my offer, that's fine. I wouldn't expect you to make a decision like this with no time to think things through. But I will urge you to make your choice in a couple of days. As I stated before, time is something I don't have much of at the moment. Why you? Because you're someone I can afford to trust. Pardon me if this seems underhanded, in a way. But I need someone to do my dirty work for me. And you need money so your family doesn't starve. If both need something from the other, each party is likely to do their part. I'll get my information, and you'll get your money. But you think that over. See if that's something you even want to do in the first place. Countess? The kitchen staff will have everything prepared in half an hour's time. Wonderful. That isn't too long. Do we have a spare room to lend out for the night? Yes, my lady. The first guest room was cleaned just yesterday. I am sure your guest would have a comfortable stay. Should I escort her there? That won't be necessary. I'll tend to it myself. We've been having a delightful discussion, and I wish to continue it. At least if she has no qualms with it. No? Good. Come along. While we wait for the meal, we can get you acquainted with your room. Thank you. I hardly have anything to do with how House Jäger looks, but the compliment is appreciated all the same. Most of the decor just stays in the family. Honestly, this place might be decorated the same way since I was born. I definitely know that portrait of my great-great-grandfather's been here for some time. It used to scare me at night when I was a child. If I had to guess, it's because he's doing the classic Jäger scowl in that portrait. I've made the same face before, but I certainly wouldn't do it for a portrait. Who knows? Maybe my great-great-grandfather was just annoyed that day. I'm sure the countless hours sitting still for the painting didn't help any. I know I hate partaking in them. That's why I haven't bothered getting one for myself. Plenty of nobles have portraits of themselves. Sometimes there's so many throughout the generations that some aren't even hung up. Honestly, I think nobles inherently tend to be narcissistic. They always say things like they need to save their visage for their descendants. As if their descendants will even care, unless they did something significant. But that is enough of that. This will be your room for the night. Will it be all right, or do you need anything? More than all right. Well, I'm glad you're delighted with it. While you eat, I'll have someone run you a bath so you can wash up. I'm sure we can find something clean for you to wear afterwards. It's hardly a problem. Guests other than the members of the Concilium aren't a normality here. I think the staff would appreciate attending to someone that can appreciate their efforts better. I wouldn't say I have a distaste for the Concilium. I mean, I am a member, and it is an important task keeping the peace with the other leaders and supporting whoever takes the crown. I will say, however, that most of the individuals I must make peace with tend to have rather irritating personalities. They likely think the same of me. But instead of saying anything, we all sit around and give each other vague smiles and lie through our teeth. All part of the game we play. In the end, a lot of politics is just lying and pretending to be civil. If you end up working for the house, you'll probably see it for yourself. I typically get visits from Count Vogel, Count Rayer, and Count Brower. The latter two are keeping an eye on me, I suppose. Count Rayer has positioned himself as some sort of leader of the Concilium. The concept is idiotic, but the majority of the Concilium has decided to let him guide the nation until another takes the throne. Count Brower is simply one of his supporters. I am not. However, I am also not strong enough to stand against the tide. No one is. Until an opportunity strikes, we must all fall in line and play pretend. Do I have a plan? No. I have wishes, I have hopes, but I do not have a solid plan. Right now, we're simply waiting for a letter. Once we receive it, we'll be one step closer to piecing together what's going on, and in turn, maybe we can make a plan. Who's we? Well, I'm not foolish enough to stand against the Concilium alone. There are more people in power other than me that sees there's something going on in Drachenfrey. The Count Rayer is using the court to do his bidding. And perhaps I would tell you more if it was part of your mission to know. But as things stand right now, you are nothing more than a guest. And a guest shouldn't be burdened with such dreadfully boring talk. I'll give you a moment of solitude before the food is ready. Perhaps you should use this time to think over your answer to my offer.